Alright, so you like cool tools and you also like when your saw cuts really straight. Well, guess what? I got a really cool tool here and something that's going to allow you to make extremely straight cuts. This is called the Skateplate. It's for the worm drive saw. Now they do have one for your sidewinders, but since I love my worm drive style saws, that's what we're going with today. Now in this video, I will talk about all the things you will probably love about this accessory, and then we'll talk about some of the things that you're not going to love. But before we dive right into it, if you like cool tools, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button if this video helps you out in any single way, and click the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future cool tools. Now, the Skateplate has been out for some time now, and they've changed designs simply because a lot of the saws that have been hitting the market have been changing designs. And you're probably thinking, well, this is just a glorified edge guide. Yeah and no. Let me show you what I'm talking about. We're going to take this off right here, and you can see it has rollers. And instead of dragging your edge guide down your piece of material, well, it glides down your piece of material. Now, this thing here is built extremely well. Those rollers are actually pretty heavy duty, but it doesn't stop there. Check out underneath the Skateplate. Why do they call that? Well, it actually looks like a pair of skates. And why would you need something like this? Why would you need rollers underneath the Skateplate? Well, because it makes things a whole hell of a lot easier. Again, instead of dragging and dealing with friction where it could throw your cut off, well, check this out. I mean, it literally skates. There is absolutely no force needed to push this thing. One finger, mind you. I'm not that strong, people. The other nice thing about this is that your shoe does not get hooked up or hung up at all on your wood. It just glides right over top. So very, very innovative, very, very cool. Now I'm going to show you this thing in action here shortly, but I sort of want to show you how this thing goes on. It's really not that hard. I think the directions actually make it a little bit more confusing than what it needs to be. So you can see that it basically goes right underneath your shoe. You have a locking plate right here, and then you just tighten that down in the back. We're going to talk about the Milwaukee and the Makita worm drive style saw here in a bit, but DeWalt and the skill saws, they work perfect. You also get a spacer for your DeWalt right here that you can throw up in front so it will not wiggle. We'll talk about that here in a bit as well. And then over here you have a couple bolts that you would just tighten down, hand tighten, not with a wrench or anything, and it holds everything in place. Once you get it tightened real nice like, it's not going anywhere on you. Now here was one of my issues with the Skateplate, because I know that everybody out there is using a different type of saw. The brand new Milwaukee M18 Fuel just came out. I could not get this on and fit perfectly. It was a little bit too big. The shoe on the saw, it just would not let me tighten that down in the back. So I was disappointed with that. I'm not saying you couldn't work it with the Milwaukee, but it's a pain in the butt. The Makita, unfortunately, the bolt on the Skateplate, the hold down bolt, actually is too close to your lockdown mechanism on the Makita and will not lock down on it. So I was scratching my head saying, what the heck? Not everybody's using the DeWalt, not everybody's using the skill saw. That's an issue for me. Oh, I thought I was starting to go a little El Loco here, and if I scroll down you can see the sidewinders here, and these are all the model numbers, and a lot of them are older saws. But if you go down to the worm drive, fits the following saw models, doesn't even have the Milwaukee. The Makita, it does have the worm drive style corded, but I'm telling you, I couldn't get it to work on the cordless, so not sure what would be really different about this. So yeah, the skill does great with the skill. The DeWalt fits fine on the DeWalt. If you have the Makita, if you have the Milwaukee, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to work for you. But enough talking. It is time to use and abuse, slice and dice. Check this thing out. Almost kind of makes you feel like you're riding a motorcycle. Now you get tons of control on this. There's no wiggle, no wobble, no nothing. Again, it is skating right on top of that wood. So very smooth action. What I want to do now is I'm going to turn up the volume. So turn down yours and we're going to cut. Now you can see that was really easy to use. It glides, it does not catch, it doesn't hang up, there's no friction. It is really just a cool tool. And if you have a circular saw, especially if you're not that great, listen, if you're somebody that does this all the time, you're a framer, carpenter, you might not need this, right? You can run that line and that's great, but some people might not be able to do it as well as you and could use something like this. Now, you can cut just under 9.5 inches, but that is with the stock. You can actually go out and buy accessories here. So if you look at the water saw system, you can actually throw that on there, or you can come down here and check out the Skateplate. Not the best name, but you can really extend that thing out. The only issue is you're paying an extra $29.95. I was sort of hoping that it came with it, considering this was $79 and well, it's not cheap. So something like this would have been cool. Instead of your standard, this would actually maybe allow you to replace your tracks. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt to get on. As far as your sight line goes, if you're not using that guide all the time, on the DeWalt, you can still see your sight lines. You shouldn't have an issue with that. I think the back, they need to bring that out another 1/2 inch. And then on the side, I think they need to move that bolt up about a 1/2 inch, just so these can be used on the Milwaukee and the Makita saws. That was a big bummer for me. Other than that, if you're looking to make some really straight cuts, this thing is built very well. It's super easy to use once you get it installed. It's not hard to take off if you don't want it on there for certain jobs. I think it's really cool. So I'll leave a link in the description below for you to check this out. If you like this video, please smash that like button. Get subscribed. It'd be nice to have you on the channel to check out some new videos. And if you want to check out the new videos, make sure you click that bell notification. We will be back with more videos soon. I appreciate you stopping by.